I'm back. So, since I'm bored and have not much else to do, sorry, distracted by friends. Yay, so happy to have friends. Anyways, I thought I would tell the story of my short time I spent in the hospital that I just told you guys about. So, and like how I got there, why, all that jazz. So it was Sunday night. So what day is it today? Friday the 13th. Ooh, spooky. So it was Sunday the 1st, I guess. And so I've had now an appointment with a psychiatrist for the 16th, and I knew that for months. The 16th of this month. So I was really just like holding out for that appointment with the psychiatrist because I knew I needed to see one desperately. I didn't know why per se. I just knew something wasn't right and I needed to see a psychiatrist. I didn't think that I needed to be hospitalized because I didn't want to be hospitalized because I had already spent 3.5 weeks in the hospital, and that was like, I felt trapped and it wasn't fun and whatever, and that's a story for another time. But so on Sunday of this week, since Sunday is the start of the week, I had my parents drive me to the hospital at 10:30 because I couldn't sleep and I got so scared that I was going to be manic again, because that's how my mania started, with not sleeping. Turns out I just was in my own head and had a hard time sleeping that night, which happens to everyone, bipolar or not. Sometimes you just can't get to sleep. But for me, I was really scared because I already felt so depressed and off. And I said to them, I can't wait any longer. I need to see a psychiatrist now. So they drove me to the hospital, and I didn't get to see a psychiatrist that night because by the time I got admitted, because I did get admitted, it was... Sorry, I'm just so easily distracted. I'll flip my phone upside down. It was 4 a.m. But anyways, so that prior to that, on the Monday of that week, I'm confusing you because Sunday the start of the week is Monday the start of the week, whatever. So I had blood work done and my lithium levels were at a 0.6, and I knew that 0.6 was just in the therapeutic range. So I start freaking out like, oh my God, my lithium's not working. This is why I'm not feeling well. Like, blah, blah, blah. The lithium is not working for me. The drug that they say is going to work isn't working. Oh my God, blah, blah, blah. So I'm all panicky about that. And so I get into the hospital. And so the first day, I don't get to see the psychiatrist until like 6 p.m. So I'm freaking out all day. I'm like, they still have me on my drugs. I'm drooling like a friggin' German Shepherd, like I said. And the nurses are like looking at me like, why? And people keep asking me why I'm producing so much saliva. And I'm like, it's the Abilify. It makes me drool. Like, I don't know. They put me on it. I need to be on an antipsychotic because I'm psychotic. But I had looked up Abilify and I was like, because I'm like, I'm not psychotic. Why am I on an antipsychotic? And then it said that it was used for an antidepressant. And then I'm like, the Abilify isn't working and the lithium isn't working because I still feel depressed and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like a huge mess. So I, honest to God, all I do is just like walk laps around the hospital. And like, I'm like, I don't want to make friends because I made friends the first time I was hospitalized. And like, now I can't see them because I'm not in the city that I was first hospitalized. And I'm like, I don't want to make friends, blah, blah, blah. I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to get better because, like, I was so, like, when I got hospitalized the first time, I was manic and, like, like, I just wanted to make myself comfortable. And for me to be comfortable in a place I don't know is to make friends. And so I made awesome friends, which, like, I'm happy about. And there were some people that, like, are now my acquaintances, but I did make some genuine friends while in my first day at the hospital, but that's another story for another time. I'm getting ahead of myself. So finally I see the psychiatrist, and I tell him about, well, I get to see the psychiatrist's like helper, and like of course he's cute, so I'm like distracted by him because he's just like this like young guy, and I'm like da-na-na-na-na, you know. I get distracted so easily. People keep messaging me on Facebook and stuff, and I get distracted easily. I've always gotten distracted easily. But who cares? Because as long as you can make it back to your point. I don't remember what I was talking about. Oh, yeah, I was talking about my friends, and I was talking about my time in the hospital, and I was talking about the cute doctor. Yeah, so the cute doctor to be is like asking me questions and stuff and whatever. And so he gets back to the doctor, and then we all three of us meet, and he asks me about the Abilify, and I tell him that it makes me drool, and he goes, no, we're taking you off that. Like, that's not good. And I'm like, okay. So they take me off the Abilify, cold turkeys me off it, which I don't know if that was the best decision, but I've gone through withdrawal before off of SSRI, so like I know withdrawal and I can handle it as shitty as it might be, and I've only been on the Abilify for like 9 weeks. So it's not that much time, and it's one of those drugs that like it comes out of your system really quickly, because I've already stopped drooling, which is awesome. My concentration still isn't that back, but that'll come with like time and stuff. I think. I don't know. I have a meeting with my psychiatrist on Monday. My psychiatrist, whom I got by hospitalizing myself. So anyways, they checked my lithium levels, but the results weren't back yet. And so the doctor tells me that he'd like me to stay the night. And I'm like, well, I know I'm a voluntary patient and I do not want to be here. So, I want to leave. And he's like, well, if you try to leave, I'm going to form you. I was formed before, and then I got reformed, and I'm like, I don't want to be formed. So I'm like, okay. He's like, let's work together. And I'm like, okay, buddy, I don't trust you just yet, but you seem like a chill dude. I like your cute doctor to be. We'll work as a team. But the thing that sucks about this doctor is he came in late, like later in the evening. And so the next day I had to wait all the way until like 6 p.m. again. And I spent the day like pacing around. And then I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to like be friendly because I'm a friendly person. I'm going to try and distract myself, like blah, 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 whatever. So then I have a meeting with the doctor, and he tells me, because I get my day goes by, whatever. It goes by slower, but I made a friend, and she was nice, and she made me feel welcome, and she introduced me to other people. And then my parents came to visit me, which, like, if you don't have a support system, let me be your support system, because I know how important it is to have people who care about you. And I'm such a caring person. Like, I cared about every person that I met in that hospital. And I still care about them. I think about them, like, both hospitals that I stayed at. So let me be your person if you feel like you don't have anyone you can talk to, because I love to talk. So then I have the meeting with the doctor, and he tells me that my lithium levels came back and that they're at an 8.5, which is exactly where he told me that he wanted me to be when I told him that they were at a 6. And turns out the whole reason that my lithium levels have been coming back so low is because I've been taking my lithium at the wrong time. Because nobody told me when to take my lithium. It just said take with food, so I took it at dinner time, but that would have meant that I would have had to get my blood taken at 4 a.m., which I did. And I finally got my lithium results back, and they were in the range where he wanted me to be. And so I say to him, like, this place is making me more depressed than I was when I came in. I need out. And he just was like, okay. And I tell him that I have an appointment on Monday with a psychiatrist, And he's like, do you want the appointment with that psychiatrist or do you want me to be your psychiatrist? And in that moment, I was like, and he like is this British dude who like swears and shit. And I'm like, I want you to be my fucking psychiatrist. Like, I didn't say that because my dad was there and I don't swear in front of my dad. But I was like, I would like you to be my psychiatrist because one thing that he said to me is, with bipolar patients, they like to stack you up on drugs and just like keep putting you on them. Like drugs to sleep, drugs for this, drugs for the anxiety, drugs for the depression, drugs for all that, since it is such a complex disorder. And he said that he wants me on as the least amount of drugs possible because I'm not crazy like I felt and like I thought I was. I can get crazy if I don't manage myself, if I don't take my medication, and if I do things that are unhealthy. And I hate the word crazy, but I'm going to use the word crazy because people know the word and they understand it. But to be manic is like, not to say like you're crazy, because I hate that word, but it's just like when I was manic, I felt crazy, like deranged, out of control, mad, like all the synonyms, like I felt it. That might not be another bipolar person's similar experience, but for me, I felt it, and that's why the word, when I hear people use it in terms even referring to mental illness, it just like jabs me in the heart. So I'm trying to like use the word crazy against itself, if that makes sense. But, and also I'm trying to not use it as much, but for all intents and purposes, I'm going to use the word because people understand it and they know what you mean when you say it. Or I at least think they do, because I use words literally because that's how you're supposed to use words, but I don't know. So I'm in the therapeutic range for lithium, and then he lets me out of the hospital, and I'm fucking jumping for joy, and I have to keep myself composed because, like, if I freak out, if I'm, like, too, like, woo, he might be like, okay, this girl is manic. She needs to stay for another day. But I'm just, like, I am an excited person. I get excited easily. I've always been over enthusiastic, even, like, as a child. So, and I don't think I was a bipolar child. Maybe I was. Who knows? I don't know. Will we ever know? All I know is that I am bipolar, but with the use of lithium and eating healthy, getting enough sleep, I'm going to get myself a light therapy box, like you said, because it's winter and I'm sad. By doing those things, and like I take vitamin D, Lil Viv. I'm a pervert also. I was so like vitamin D, I was like, but I'm not getting any of that right now because that's not what I need. I need the sun. Because when you're depressed, you don't want dick. You want orange juice. Oh gosh, I need to go now. I think this story is over and I'm just talking to myself now. But that was my experience that got me to where I am now. So I hope that other people can watch this and laugh about it, cry about it, feel something about it, and just be happy. Don't worry. Be happy now. That's really how I wanted to end it. Not at all, but that's how it's gonna end. Goodbye, folks. Thanks for listening.